So today we will be studying the strategy for GS paper 2 and 3 and 4. Till now we have covered strategy for prelims, for CSAT, for GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 and essay and GS paper 1. So today we will be covering GS paper 2, CSAT, GS paper 2, 3 and 4. So broadly the name of the paper is Governance, Constitution, Polity, Social Justice and International Relations. Now I am sure that from my past two classes you all remember that knowing the syllabus is actually having a kind of grasp on the exam. If you don't know the syllabus, then there is no way that you can really give the exam. Yeah. Is 2 years enough time to crack UPSC with good rank? I took 2 years, my rank was 42. I don't know if you call that a good rank or a bad rank, but it is possible, as I am sitting right in front of you. Okay. Why did I cut my hair? I donated it for a cancer patient. Now my hair is a wig for her and my hair will grow out on its own, so there's no issue over there. Right? Now let's focus on the syllabus. Paper 2 is about governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. So 5 broad topics, right? Governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. Governance, constitution, polity, social justice आप मिलकर ही पढ़ोगे. You will study it in a combined manner, not separately. International relations you will study separately. So the paper has 2 broad topics, polity and international relation. Your basic sources will be Lakshmikant for the constitution, very important, can't be missed. Then the current affairs booklet, and you can choose any current affairs booklet because as you know I keep saying you have to do previous year questions. Yeah, you have to do previous year questions. Now from Lakshmikant you will be able to do Indian Constitution. These are the parts of your syllabus that you can complete from Lakshmikant. Indian Constitution historical underpinnings is in the first this thing itself in the first chapter. Evolution, NCERT's last chapter has constitutional debates, so you can go through that. Features, amendments, significant provisions, basic structure, all is given. For basic structure I would recommend Wikipedia it once, go a little beyond what is given just in Lakshmikant. Then you have functions and responsibilities of the union and the state, very easily attainable from Lakshmikant. Issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure, easily attainable by Lakshmikant and current affairs, right? Issues and challenges will always be current affairs. Pertaining to federal structure, what does federal structure mean? Central state relations. So if there's like a water issue or a traffic issue or a border issue, those kind of things. Then devolution of powers and finances up to local levels and challenges therein. Again Lakshmikant and one good booklet will help you with it. Comparison of Indian constitutional scheme with others. There is one particular graph in Lakshmikant which you can use for yourself. Okay. Then your syllabus comes to parliament and state legislatures. Structure, functioning, conduct of business, powers and privileges and issues arising thereof. All are in Lakshmikant. Appointments to various constitutional bodies, post, powers, function, responsibility, everything is given in Lakshmikant. That is why I am saying Lakshmikant is like a Bible. Yeah. Now structure, organization, functioning of the executive and judiciary, ministries and departments of government. This you'll have to do a little bit from Lakshmikant and little bit from your current affairs. Like Niti Aayog became a new organization, so it was not in the original Lakshmikant. So that way you have to stay updated. And pressure groups and formal/informal associations and their role in the polity, these you have to supplement with NCERT. Okay, now why am I reading out the syllabus to you? Syllabus is available to everyone. Why should I sit here and waste my energy reading it out to you? It is only because many people do not read the syllabus. Specific things are given here, appointments to various constitutional body, and in prelims also questions come: who appoints the vice president, how is the vice president, uh, how does someone become vice president, right? So all those things are very specifically written in this, and you have to go through the syllabus. You cannot go through Lakshmikant first and then the syllabus. You have to go through the syllabus, then the previous year questions, then you go to Lakshmikant, then you go to current affairs. Okay, syllabus, previous year questions, Lakshmikant, current affairs. That has to be your entire process. Okay. Now pressure groups are also given quite well in NCERT Polity of class 12, so you can check that out. Now under what circumstances, let's look at some kind of previous year questions. Under what circumstances can the financial emergency be proclaimed by the President of India? Direct question out of Lakshmikant. What consequences follow when such a declaration remains in force? Direct question out of Lakshmikant. Next question, if we see, discuss the essentials of the 69th constitutional amendment. अब constitutional amendments exactly दी हुई है लक्ष्मीकांत में, very easy. And anomalies, if any, that have led to recent reported conflicts between the elected representatives and the institution of Lieutenant Governor in the administration of Delhi. So now you know that this is 69th essentials of 69th constitutional amendment is your static part, and the rest is your current affairs part. So both you have to do and mesh together. You have to know this, that a question can be simply factual, or it can be factual and issue based. So solve the question, actually write down the answers for this. Okay, now current affairs mein what all you have to study? Salient features of the Representation of People's Act. Just read an analysis of the act from anywhere with the factual information. This is not given that well in Lakshmikant. Okay, so just use it from somewhere else. Then government policies and intervention for development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation. Again, nothing doing here. It's basic current affairs. Government policies kya hai? What are the issues that can be there? Then strategy, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies. So from here you have to do Lakshmikant as well as your current affairs. If any body like TRI or CCI, when I was studying the Telecom Regulatory Authority institution, and CCI was in news a lot. So whatever is in news during your time, you have to do that. Whatever body is in news, you need to know how it was made, who all are the members, what is its responsibility, why does it exist. Okay, so that is for your current affairs. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so under current affairs, what do we have? We have welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of the population by the center and states, and performance of these schemes. Mechanisms, laws, institutions, bodies constituted for the protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections. So again, this is entirely current affairs. If there is something happening with any particular vulnerable section, you need to know. And vulnerable sections consist of huge groups like women. Women is a vulnerable section. Children, elderly, anything can be a vulnerable section. So you need to know what are the issues they face. Health, education, human resources, you have to know the statistics. You have to know the basis. You have to know the new policies. There is no other way about health, education and resources. In fact, if you do not do this, what kind of a IAS officer would you make? You think for yourself. If you don't know the health and education status of the country, then how will you administer the country. Yeah. Okay. Okay, development processes and development industry, role of NGOs, SHGs, various groups, associations, ये सब आराम से चैरिटीज़ वगैरह के बारे में पूछ लेते हैं, तो वो आराम से न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ के किसी विजन की पॉलिटी की आप वो ले लीजिए बुकलेट, या किसी और की बुकलेट ले लीजिए. Issues relating to development and management of social sector / services, issues relating to poverty and hunger. Definitely poverty and hunger, you guys can also practice essays on issues relating to poverty and hunger, because they are very likely to ask that. Yeah. Then some important aspects of governance, transparency, accountability. Transparency and accountability, try to understand a little what is the meaning of transparency and what is accountability, how can it be increased in the government. These are very important terms, and you must have a very, very clear idea of what is transparency and what is accountability. Then e-governance may you have to have application model, successes, limitation, potential. Again, broadly e-governance you need to know. Citizens charters, this is there in ethics also. Citizens charter, transparency and accountability, all of this is there, so you can study for ethics paper as well as paper 2 together. Okay. Then role of civil services in a democracy, again you will figure it out from the newspapers only, and these topics overlap with ethics, so prepare them together, the topics on this page. Yeah. And for ethics, how did I prepare? I used my own notes, I used Avdesh Singh sir's courses on Unacademy, and of course I solved PYQs a lot. And lastly, you have current affairs for IR, bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and or affecting India. So only India related international affairs you need to know, not random. India and its neighborhood relations, obviously. Then important international institutions like UNO, WHO, agencies, their form, their structure, their mandate. What is the meaning of mandate? I hope you all know that. Effects of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests and Indian diaspora. That is it. Okay. Now 90% of this will be covered by Lakshmikant and your monthly booklet and your newspaper. उसके beyond अगर कुछ आया तो don't worry about it. You just prepare this much. You prepare this much. Be confident in your preparation. Be sure that you can write at least one page on every single topic in the syllabus. Be sure that you remember Lakshmikant through and through. Read it 15 times. Alright. I at least read it 15 times in my 2 years of preparation. And do your Vision 365 mains. I did that. You can choose some other courses booklet as well. Okay. So now tell me, all of you, the questions aren't updating here. I will just see the questions over here. Okay, now your questions. Me how to get an answer evaluated. I'm still working on that, Nishant, I'll tell you. Okay, now I can see your questions. Pankaj has asked, ma'am, graduation regular करें या private? It doesn't matter. It is totally indifferent. UPSC is indifferent to it. Ma'am, modern history, I'm doing an MCQs from Spectrum and Freedom Struggle from Bipin Chandra. But ma'am, when I'm giving the test, I'm forgetting the concept and feeling frustrated. Revise it multiple times, okay? Everybody's limit of retention frustrated. I myself am saying कि मेरे को 15 बार रिवाइज करना पड़ता है, right? So certain clarity कि आपको 15 बार अगर रिवाइज करने की ज़रूरत है तो 15 बार, 10 बार की ज़रूरत है तो 10 बार करिए. अगर आपको 2 बार में ही याद हो जाता है तो आप 2 बार में ही करिए. बट इट टुक मी at least 15 times to prepare that geography NCERT of class 12, class 11. It took me at least 15 times to prepare NCERT, and I'm not ashamed of that. If you think you're forgetting the answer, just revise it again. Yeah. Okay, now let's look at GS paper 3. Now GS paper, name of the paper is Technology, Economic Development, Biodiversity, Environment, Security and Disaster Management. So this paper has 5 broad topics: economics, science and tech, environment and ecology, security and disaster management. Okay, 5 topics, 5 important topics, most important being economics, of course. So what to do for eco? Eco, you have to do static class 9 to 11. That is your static portion. Then you can do Ramesh Singh or Shriram IS or Ayush Sanghi's courses on Unacademy. These are the same sources I used for my pre. Current affairs, definitely you need to do it from newspaper, plus one economic booklet, plus latest government documents like the budget and the the economic survey. Yeah, every year it comes out, you have to do it. For science and tech, you can refer to NCERT class 6 to 10 plus any booklet. So it's very easy to prepare science and tech. For environment and ecology, yeah. So for ecology and environment, best is Roman Seni's course on environment and ecology, and you can also do the last 4 chapters of NCERT class 12th biology. For current affairs, you can do newspaper and any booklet. Very simple. Environment ecology is not a very headache thing. Security, you don't have to study anything, just do current affairs. Something like Doklam standoff will come and you'll know how to answer the question. Disaster management, NCERT geography class 11 has one chapter. Then there's a disaster management website also, and when we come to geography, you will see that more things on disaster management will be discussed, and current affairs will be from any. अभी तो disaster management ही चल रहा है पूरा का पूरा, कोरोना जो है, right? Okay, Nishant is asking, is it paramount to read Kurukshetra and Yojana? No, it is not. I did not read it. You stick to any 2 sources for current affairs, okay? Stick to any 2 study sources and 2 test series sources. So do a newspaper, do any booklet, so any one newspaper and any one booklet, okay? And then do a daily test, daily 10 questions, and do like a proper weekly full length test. So that is what you have to do. That's it. Pankaj, BA honors or BA, which is good for UPSC? UPSC, it doesn't care about your degree. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So now if you see the syllabus, I would ask you to read the syllabus as well. Okay, I am not going to read it out to you. It's here in the slides. You guys will get the slides. It's important that you understand them. So here it is. See, even some things like major cropping patterns in various parts of the country, कहाँ कौन सी खाद उगती है, कहाँ किस चीज़ का फल होता है, वो सब आपको जानने की ज़रूरत है for UPSC. Okay? Food processing and related industries, public distribution system, land reforms in India, everywhere you have to keep a very, very, very open-minded approach. You need to study the syllabus in detail. Are you seeing this? Even if I read it out to you right now and you listen very attentively, it would not be enough. You have to go through it multiple times on your own, right? Okay, so now let's move on to GS paper 4, the last part of which I will be teaching you, after which I'll take some questions, maybe for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we'll close the session. Okay, now how to prepare ethics. Please do not pick up any book and read it cover to cover. कोई source नहीं use करना है. Pick up the syllabus and do it topic by topic. Okay, so take one topic, do the definition, do the previous year questions of that topic, check your previous year questions, have someone else check them, a trusted elder check them, and then go to the next topic. And then after you're done doing all the topics, you can do case studies for the past 5 years. This is my ethics strategy. I got very high marks in ethics, around 127 I think, and I highly recommend the strategy. Okay, please do not pick up any book. Pick up the syllabus, do it topic by topic, definition, previous year questions, check your answers, write the answers and get them checked by a dedicated elder, and move on to the next topic. Okay, so the name of the paper is Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude, and now this paper includes questions to check the candidate's attitude and approaches relating to integrity, probity in public life, etc. And questions have and case studies will also be asked. Yeah. So for example, I tell you that you are going to study these are all the kind of this is the syllabus for it, and I think I'm going to close the session now and take some questions for 10 minutes and then we can talk. Okay, Rahul is asking, biology 12th NCERT necessary for science and tech. Last 4 chapters you can do, or you can do Roman Chinese course. I did both. Diksha is asking how to link current affairs with answer writing. Practice answer writing, then you will know how to link them together. Prabhat is asking, what is this strategy for prelims or mains GS paper? Broadly GS 1, 2, 3 applies to pre as well. Sneha is asking, can I take BA history as my optional? Yes, you can. Absolutely. 3 years is it? Can you crack it? That only God knows. Yeah. Harshvardhan is asking, ma'am, how much time it takes for you to cover the syllabus? It takes about 6 months at the very least. Yeah, but you have to do it with revision, so at least 9 months. So Diksha, I've already answered your question. Sneha, okay. She is in class 10th and she wants to know how to start her preparation. Don't start preparing right now. Enjoy your childhood, but do start reading the newspaper. You can put that adat. How to prepare environment and ecology from mains perspective, I have already covered it, right? You have to do the static and then you have to read the current affairs and practice answer writing. How to read current affairs for a beginner, I'll take a lecture on how to read the newspaper later, okay? Yashraj, for essay I had already discussed day before. For ethics, do my notes. I'll share my notes. They are quite easily available. They are actually notes of my seniors, Jwalin Tejpal and Vikramaditya Sharma, Malik. So those notes are so good that I just prepared from them and did previous year questions, and that was enough. Is it necessary to complete 21 years for applying? Yes, you have to be of age. Daily news analysis on YouTube, you won't be able to make new notes out of it. Okay, for your understanding punchy, maybe you can go through the daily news analysis, but you need something which you can revise, right? Which are the best sources for science and tech? Vision Current Affairs, that is the best source, 365. Efficient time management for working professional, there can be no blanket strategy for that. Every working professional has to make their own strategy, because your work is unique to you. I was a working professional, I was teaching on Unacademy. So I will not ask someone else ki bhai how do I teach on Unacademy and study and pole dance at the same time. I will know in my heart how to do it. So go do some introspection, do some meditation, and you will figure out your approach. Some tips for consistency. Okay, Shivam, I'm glad you asked that. Do not value consistency so highly. Right? Some people think that consistency means 10 hours a day every day. You can't do that. Consistency means respecting the competition that you are giving, as well as respecting your health and your mental status. So if one day you study for 6 hours and another day you're only able to study for 4, don't worry so much about it. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Love yourself and consistency will come. That is my genuine advice for consistency. NCERTs I discussed last class, Aisha. Too many questions are coming now. I'm not able to pick which one to answer. Nishant, if I'm planning to launch a course on Unacademy, I will share it on the on my Unacademy educator wall. Okay. I have no idea how to go for GS3. I just told you. Okay, everything of my advice boils down to read the syllabus, read the previous year questions, organize the previous year questions by syllabus, solve them, and then understand what is the demand of the paper. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again. Read the syllabus, read it carefully, read 5 years previous year questions, organize the 5-year previous questions by syllabus topics and subtopics, and then solve them after studying for them. Study for them and then solve them, and then you will know how to prepare. That is the best way you can actually prepare. Go backwards, not forwards. Don't start studying and then see what is in the syllabus. That doesn't make any sense. When and where am I going to share the notes of ethics? I'll just talk to my Unacademy team and ask them where I can share it. Okay. I cannot give you tips for scoring in philosophy, as I have not studied philosophy.